Hello Genshin F2Ps and Swipeys, you guys are here for a review of the latest Archon to arrive in Genshin 3.2, that is Nahida. Now, unlike the other lame Genshin content creators out there who say, "Oh, you can get away with not pulling for Nahida," I actually have to disagree and actually make the statement that Nahida is going to be the literal best pull for everyone's account in the 3.0 patches, as she is just that relevant and that dominant. Before we get into the why, make sure to drop a like and sub to the channel, as I love to be your point of reference in Genshin. I don't make these must-pull claims lightly, so let's get on with the star of the show. Nahida is going to be the premier Dendro character. If we take a look across the board at the other released Archons, we understand that they are outstanding units within their elemental types, and also excel in the roles that are given to them. Venti with crowd control, Zhongli with support and damage mitigation, and Raiden with just her sheer ability to deal ult burst damage. With Nahida, she is going to be an Archon that is more tied to her element. What I mean by that is she is the best Dendro applier in the game as of her release, and most likely for the rest of the game.
I spy a new friend.
Now, taking a look at her autos, they honestly aren't bad, but they aren't that awe-inspiring. Relatively tame as a catalyst, Nahida has regular elemental gauge and range with her autos, and her charge attack, well, let's just say you won't be using them all too much for the sake of cutting into your potential DPS. Nahida's bread and butter comes from her E skill, All Schemes to Know, which will deal Dendro damage to the enemies as well as apply Dendro. Now, there are two ways to apply this ability, and I really have to give props to the development team for these variations. The first will be in a half crescent, which has limited depth, but has quite a bit of range in its short distance. Then you have the hold, which generally you'll want to use more of in mid-range fights, as it has the ability to tag up to 8 enemies, and you can hold and drag this skill to seek out units. This is incredible, as initially I had thought it worked like a snapshot camera. Now it's more like a camcorder. Wow, I am old. Who else knows what a camcorder is? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, not only is the ability versatile, but is integral to her ability to consistently and quickly apply Dendro. Alongside the various ways to apply the E skill, there is Nahida's ability such that when you create an elemental reaction with the E skill, or a Bloom Core pops, you will trigger the Tri-Karma Purification, which will deal more damage and reapply Dendro. See, the problem with Dendro currently is that every character that is attuned to the Dendro element generally has abilities with weak elemental gauge. That means that it is easy to wipe off their applied element, making it less consistent to react with. But with Nahida, she doesn't necessarily fix the problem, but circumvents it entirely by just applying more. Now, this ability is already busted enough, so thank God the ultimate burst does not do damage, or else we would literally have the most overtuned character in the game since Kazuha or even Yelan. This ultimate has the ability to buff the potential of the Tri-Karma Purification, and if you have 2 counts of the elements Pyro, Hydro, or Electro, you get the following effects. Now, aside from just talking about what she does, why is she a must-pull? We're a few minutes in, let's just go into it. Let's break it down with a few cases. Firstly, she is an absolute monster when it comes to applying the Dendro element. No other single character can match her application. Just check out the Nilo team, which can now run triple Hydro and 1 Dendro instead of having to rely on 2 Dendros of Kale and DMC to consistently provide the application needed to create the bountiful cores. And let's not even get started with the C2 and how busted that is for Nilo teams. Next, and this is more specific to her C1 in particular, Nahida now has opened up team compositions to allow for rainbow teams. With her Shrine of Maya gaining an extended buff from the Pyro, Hydro, and Electro elements, wouldn't it be easy to create rainbow teams around this ability? You could approach it in 2 ways. One where Nahida is on-field DPS, which a team could look like Nahida, Bennett for the attack buff, Shinshou, Yelan, Kokomi for Hydro app, and Fischl or Beto for Hyper Bloom. Or we could see Nahida be the off-field Dendro applier. Let's have the Pyro or Hydro be the on-field characters like Yoimiya, Hu Tao, Ayato on the higher end, and characters like Xiangling, Yanfei, Barbara, yes, Barbara, on the more F2P end. We could slot in a more support-oriented Electro like Kujosara, Kuki, or even Dory, and you'd still have viable teams because of the consistency of transformative reactions through Nahida. And the final reason why, which was mentioned just now, is that she is able to be the premier on-field as well as off-field Dendro applier. Not many characters in the game excel in either role, but as of right now she does both, and very well with that. Oh, and as an extra bonus, her E-skill has the ability to pick up non-moving resources, as well as being able to interact with NPCs, making her one of the unique characters to have in overworld exploration. Now, I understand that we did not necessarily get into the weeds of the numbers, such as her builds, main stat artifacts, or ER needs, and why don't we just go through that really quickly, just as a gift for you guys who have stuck around towards the end. Her best set is the Deepwood, EM Sands, EM Goblet, or Dendro for on-field, and a crit value, either crit rate, crit damage, for Circlet. Her best in slots are the Kaguya's Verity and 1000 Floating Dreams for the 5 stars, and Witzith and Solar Pearl for the 4 stars, with budget options being the Mappa Mare, as well as even the new weapon, the Wandering Evenstar, as it gives EM an attack percentage in substat and passive. Her ER needs are 120 to 130 plus for on-field and 160 plus for off-field for how many particles she's able to generate through her E-skill. And also it depends on what supporting characters you also have with your following team. Talent priorities are as follows: E-skill, burst, autos. And that's all you need to generally know about Nahida. There are many different builds, potential avenues, and niches that we have yet to discover, but with more playtime, I am sure that we will discover it all. She's the premier character of the 3.0 patches, and personally, if there was one character or only one character you could pick up from Sumeru, it is her. She is such an amazing character on the battlefield and provides a very unique set of skills in the overworld that I really think she is the closest thing to a must-pull that we'll see in the Genshin 3.0 patches. Thanks for watching. If you guys have made it this far, hopefully I could convince you guys to shout out just a little bit for her. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you guys leave a like and comment down below your opinions on Nahida, as well as if you guys did pull on the banners. And make sure to subscribe as we just hit 1K, 1,000. Thank you guys so much. And now we're aiming for the 5 digits. We are also live every day for the first week of the 3.2 patches, so make sure you come check us out live on TikTok and Twitch at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you guys again, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Josh out.